Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your game by subscribing to our channel so you never miss our daily content. For exclusive access to our premium betting picks, join our Patreon. Find the link in the comments section below. Stay ahead with High Stakes. Stanford versus Syracuse. The 1-1 Stanford Cardinal of the ACC enters 2 weeks of Atlantic Coast living as they head to face the Syracuse Orange this Friday and follow it up with a game at Clemson next week. This will be a good road test for the Cardinal, who is coming off of a bye week and last played in a tune-up game against Cal Poly, defeating the Mustangs 41-7 but failing to cover the 34.5-point spread. The Cardinal is 1-1 ATS as they fell in Week 1 to TCU 34-27 as 7.5-point dogs, getting the benefit of the hook. As far as the total goes, the squad is 1-1 on the season. Senior quarterback Kyle McCord was all but run out of Columbus last season, which has resulted in a great net positive for his hometown Syracuse Orange. McCord has started 2 games this season, navigating the Orange to a 2-0 start, while completing 69.4% of his passes and 8 touchdowns to just 1 pick. In his last game, against then-ranked Georgia Tech, McCord had career highs in attempts and completions, demonstrating the Orangemen's dedication to the pass. Additionally, though McCord is not a mobile QB, he scrambled for his longest career run of 16 yards for a first down at an important part of the game. The Orange survived a late push by G-Tech, winning the match 31-28 as 3-point dogs. Tight end Oron Gadsden, too, has been the main beneficiary of McCord's accuracy with 201 yards receiving on the year. The Carrier Dome will be rocking on Friday night as Kyle McCord has excited the Orange faithful into a frenzy. The noise will disrupt Stanford's rhythm in their first road game of the season. Stanford will attempt to answer that through the running game with dual-threat QB Ashton Daniels. This appears to be Syracuse's weakness because the Orange are ranked 110th against the run, allowing 183.5 yards per game. However, Syracuse demonstrated that they can toughen up in the trenches as they allowed the good Georgia Tech team just 112 rushing yards, which includes 67 yards, from the Yellow Jackets' mobile QB Haynes King. Stanford's Daniels will get yardage, but not enough to dominate the game. Syracuse, on the other hand, will rely on McCord's abilities and pick apart Stanford's secondary, who has allowed a 117th ranked 278.5 passing yards. The fact that the Orange are at home will only help that situation as the passing game is more reliant on communication. Additionally, Syracuse has demonstrated great efficiency early this season, which will help them maintain drives and put points on the board. There will be a lot of scoring in this game, so don't be swayed by the greater than a touchdown line. Lay the 10-point chalk with the Orange. My team pick is Syracuse minus 10 points. This game features 2 offenses that are geared up to take advantage of their opponent's weakness on D. This includes Stanford's running abilities against Syracuse and the Orange's focus on the pass against Stanford. This will lead to an exciting game with scores in bunches. The book caught up to Syracuse's scoring ability in their last match by posting a 60 on the G-Tech game after the Orange dropped 38 on Ohio. The game against the Yellow Jackets went under, but just by a point, 31-28. Expect much of the same in this game, but Syracuse should be able to score a higher total against Stanford's defensive weakness. The Stanford versus TCU game has many similarities to this one and ended on a combined score of 61, which was over the 59 posted total. Additionally, Stanford's speedy Alec Iomanor has yet to score a touchdown on the season and has a favorable matchup in this one. He could very well provide the needed electricity on the Friday night national stage to get this one over the total. Take this game to go over the 57.5. My total pick is over 57.5 points. Illinois versus Nebraska. The Illini are ranked 22nd in scoring defense under second-year coordinator Aaron Henry. They're conceding only 13.0 points per game against FBS opposition. They've already forced 9 total turnovers, and their 2.5 takeaways per game against FBS opposition is 9th in the nation. Nebraska has had some solid teams throughout the years, but they're still trying to get back to being the dominant force that they were in the 1990s. Matt Rule's 5-7, 3-6 B1G debut campaign certainly didn't accomplish that. However, Rule is back for a second season in Lincoln, and his Cornhuskers are out to a perfect 3-0 start this season. Nebraska's best win is a 28-10 home victory over Colorado, and that game is bookended by wins over UTEP, 40-7, and FCS Northern Iowa, 34-3, more recently. This is a fantastic ranked battle to get Week 4 started. However, from a betting perspective, I just don't know how we've gotten to a spread as high as 8.5 points. This feels like a no-brainer for me to back the Illini plus the points. First off, I don't put a ton of stock in Nebraska's win over Colorado because I simply think the Buffaloes are extremely overrated. It was a solid win, but it didn't move the meter for me. Then we have two other wins against UTEP and Northern Iowa, and those don't do much for me either. Now you want me to lay 8.5 points with a freshman quarterback against Bret Bielema and this Illini defense? I don't think so. The Illini have already forced 9 turnovers this season, so I anticipate them putting freshman Dylan Raiola to the test here. On the flip side, the Illini bring in a junior quarterback in Luke Altmyer, who has a quality victory over a ranked Kansas team in Week 2. Nebraska could win the game, but I think we're in for a tight, vintage Big Ten slugfest. I'll take the Illini getting north of a full possession. My team pick is Illinois Fighting Illini plus 8.5 points. Let's pick it up right where I left off, and that's that we should see a lot of physicality in this contest. Bret Bielema is known for his hard-nosed style, where he wants to win the battle in the trenches. His offensive line will be put to the test in this game against Nebraska's vaunted pass rush, which is averaging 3.5 sacks per game against FBS opposition, 13th in the country. So, while I expect Altmyer to do enough at the quarterbacking position to keep his team in the game, I certainly don't expect him to go nuclear against Nebraska's respectable defense. On the flip side, the Illini were able to bottle up a highly touted Jalen Daniels in Week 2, limiting the experienced Kansas quarterback to 141 passing yards on a 56.2% completion percentage. He also threw 3 interceptions against Illinois. There's a chance that they make Raiola look very bad in this game. Each of the last 2 games in this series has gone under this total of 43.5 points, and I just don't think either side boasts enough offensive talent to really rack up the points. I'm going to take the under in this Big Ten showdown. My total pick is under 43.5 points. San Jose State versus Washington State. This will be the 14th meeting between the programs, but only the second in the 21st century. When they last met in 2018, it was all Cougars in a 31-0 win in Pullman. Washington State has pulled off back-to-back wins over P4 programs, but was underdogs in both. They did well when favored by -26 in their season opener versus Portland State, a game they won by 40 points. San Jose State quarterback Emmett Brown has completed 63 passes and 34 of them have been caught by Nash. Though they should be able to get the ball moving against this Washington State defense, they are also telegraphing a big portion of what they do, so the Cougars should be able to defend better in this game than in their prior efforts. Mateer's ability with both his arm and his legs will keep the Spartans on their toes. I think this one stays close for a while, but Washington State pulls away late at home. Take the Cougars to cover. My total pick is Washington State minus 11.5 points. In their last meeting, 6 years ago, the Spartans' offense was unable to do a thing against the Cougars. This time around should be much different, especially against a Washington State defense that is giving up over 400 yards per game. San Jose State's passing attack is legit and will be able to get points on the board. The Cougars' offense has showed off some weapons, with 3 receivers already with at least 8 receptions and over 150 yards. Then their QB throws a wrench into any defensive scheme with his ability to turn nothing into something, be it with his arm or leg. Both of these offenses average at least 30 points per game and both lean into that. Friday nights are for the points. My total pick is over 55.5 points.